which is pretty awesome.
Taking it to the streets, that's how we
Yeah,
do.
yeah. We're renegades. We're
Yeah.
movie renegades.
At Movie Talk.
Yes, we are.
www.movietalk.un. Also, another good thing about Movie Talk, we support movies.
I love supporting indie films. I've been in many indie films myself. I have friends who are indie film producers and directors, writers. So it really, it's close to my heart to be
You
able
also
to.
still doing your thing outside.
Oh, I'm doing my thing.
You're taking it to the streets.
I'm taking it to the streets. I'm telling everybody
to the streets.
Yes.
That's how we do here
At Movie Talk, real talk.
There you go. You got it. I am Leslie.
Hi, I'm Carrie.
And welcome
to Movie Talk. And now we're going to do our indie film segment.
Definitely.
And it is such a pleasure to have our guests here in the studio with us today. They are all the cast and crew of 8 Ball. So we have...
Wow.
Yes.
8 Ball.
8 Ball. You're behind the 8 Ball. Yeah.
And you are red.
I know, and I love playing pool. I'm gonna practice some of those moves.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So we have our actor, executive producer, David Barroso.
Glad
Thanks
to
for
be
being
here. Thank you.
We have our writer, executive producer, Dave Chan.
Thank you for coming.
We have our actor, Johnny Roastbeef Williams.
Hi.
Hi. Nice
We
to
have a
you
legend on our set
here. We do
today.
indeed. A fine body of work.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And last but not least, we have our writer, executive, actually I should say actor, executive producer, Omar Scott Benjamin.
How you doing?
Wow. So you
Thanks
guys
for
all have
being
some
here,
great
guys.
roles.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad.
So this, from what I understand, this movie is 10 years in the making, which is such an awesome thing.
Yeah.
It's a 10-year project, so that's really a labor of love.
Definitely.
Can you tell us a little bit how that started? I know like the New York crew and getting people involved and California and all of this.
It was not easy. It started back, David Manzano and Adrian Manzano, who are 2 directors, and David Manzano, who wrote it. He wrote a script, and I was one of the first actors picked from the audition process. And so he asked me if I wanted to do this movie, and it entailed a real mobster. We'll just call it, we'll say his name is Pete. It is Pete. I won't say his last name. But it was based off a true story. So I said, yeah, I'll definitely do it. And this started in 2000. And it started in New York City and Queens, the old neighborhood. So I hung out with the mobster for like 2 days just to...
That must have been a real experience.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I just didn't want to know anything else but just the pool game. I just pick up certain things from him, but I didn't want to copy him. I just wanted to...
What did you learn from those 2 days?
Oh, it was interesting. I learned that, well, know exactly what questions you're going to ask him and make sure that you put it in the right, proper sentence.
And not waste his time, maybe?
Yes, exactly.
I had a feeling that was one of the criteria.
Yeah, it was interesting, you know, and it's just the way the guy was like low key about a lot of things, and you know the way he shared things. It was very interesting. I mean, he didn't share anything. I didn't want to know anything about like the past and stuff, but it was just more about the pool game and being in the neighborhood and being in Ozone Park, Queens, where the film was started, right by also Queens Boulevard, and so it was interesting. It was really interesting.
So how did being from New York City too, originally, even though you've been out for California for a while, how did that kind of inform your choices in the film and help you with your character, do you think?
I would say, because I kind of seen these guys from like when I was growing up, you know, in Queens, in Astoria, you know, seeing these kind of guys. So I related with the film in that sense. Went through some problems my own self as a kid. So I really attached to the film, and I said, you know what, I really want to do this. And I thought David and Adrian were great directors in the sense that remind me a little bit of the Coen brothers. You know, Adrian's more of a school director, you know, learned his education through the school, and David was a street director, kind of like that, you know, guy who's just a guerrilla director. He just wants to do everything. And it was nice having that balance of them two, just, you know, little arguments, but they were nice. You know?
Little arguments, but nice.
Yeah,
It's good.
yeah.
So how long did it take to actually film it? I know it was within a 10-year process, but when
Yes.
you actually came back in, what, last year, this year?
We finished the film in LA in 2011. So we started in New York City in 2000, Finished in 2011. Me and another actor, Joseph Ruiz, who is not here, and he's here in spirit, I'm sure, but he's in California. He has a kid now, so to his family at home. But
And so all your great other actors here, producers, writers.
yeah,
Wow.
and Joe came up with the ending in the movie in L.A. And then when I started doing really good in film and TV, I put my money together and I went out there and he couldn't believe it. I just said, listen, let's finish this. Let's do it now. And within 3 weeks, I got everybody going.
So let me ask the four of you guys, what's one of the best experiences you took from making this movie? Because I'm assuming everyone has more films, productions that you've been on other casts. But with 8 Ball, what was one of the best experiences you took from this?
I think as a writer, because I'm a writer first, David was nice enough to ask me to do a cameo as
cool.
his attorney.
Nice.
So I played a mobster attorney. I was like, why not? A lot of fun. But stepping into that role definitely helped me as a writer. I
Wow.
mean, absolutely. And
Took you out of your element, right?
yes, definitely. And I had not taken any acting classes at that time. I had, worked with David, and I asked him questions like, how should I do this? Asked the director, like, is this right? I was a little nervous,
Mm-hmm.
But just getting those words across, to the audience, it's huge. It's a tough craft. So kudos to you guys.
Yeah.
Well, in filming, 10 years, so much changed. We went through 9/11, cultural things. Do you feel like that affected filming at all for locations, or as the cultural climate changed, or life events, big things, world events changed, that it changed filming here in New York? Some things with getting locales and shooting.
New York budget is
Yeah.
ridiculous, though.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. I mean, I think so. I think, a lot of it was, I think New York was going through a hard time at that point. And we didn't want to we wanted to also come up with a different idea. And we wanted an escape route for the film. So it kind of worked out perfect because Joseph moved. He was the first one to move to California. Johnny Roast Beef already had lived in California. And I had just moved out to California.
So are all of you, you're originally from New York. Where are all of, to speak to Johnny, where are you? You're originally from New
I'm
York?
originally from Manhattan, Upper East Side, Spanish Harlem.
Okay.
And yeah, great neighborhood. I grew up when the neighborhood was basically all Italian American,
Yep.
real village type of thing. I'm in LA 23 years now.
Oh, wow.
But what you said about 9/11, I think, in my opinion, that filming has changed, not because of 9/11, but because of technology.
Exactly.
We in LA
Yes.
Culture.
have, in the past 10 years, it's been a negative revolution because they're filming all over with smaller cameras. It's less expensive, digital, and they're going and as competitive as geographic areas are in the country, they're attracting filmmakers in places like Georgia and Louisiana and New Mexico, Texas. Yeah, Texas, because people are they want to do great looking movies. They could get 10 cameras now. Years ago, one camera was $300,000.
Exactly.
Now you get
Yes.
10 and you spent all of 35,000. So the elements that take up this new technology have changed the filmmaker, both independently and studio, because the studio system is changing now. You got Netflix making their films, Amazon making movies, and they're in
Yes.
competition
Yes.
with Paramount and Warner Brothers that have this big machinery going on, and these people are just coming in
Exactly.
and cutting to the basics.
Yep.
So I think that more than 9/11. 9/11
Yeah.
was in New York specifically. It definitely had an impact.
So you have such a fine body of work, including State of Grace and Goodfellas. Can you tell
Yeah.
us a little bit, our viewers, how you got the nickname Roast Beef? Just curious.
Well, here's what happened. It's funny. I got cast in Goodfellas, and Marty Scorsese. He had asked me. He says, Johnny, you got a nickname? I says, yeah. He says, what's your nickname? I says, Roast Beef. And I got that from the old neighborhood, and I was in the deli business. I had delis in New York and Manhattan, and somebody called me roast beef one night, and it stuck, you know. So he says, Johnny Roast Beef? I says, yeah. I says, yeah, that's my nickname. I says, you think it's funny? I says, how about when I'm at a bar and I'm, you know, talking to a beautiful young lady and they get a call and roast beef, and there goes the whole conversation. Suave and sophistication turns into a
Just say,
top
yeah, I'm
round,
ready to
you know?
eat. I'm ready to be eaten.
Yeah,
a fine
right,
dinner.
right.
I'm gonna give you a fine dinner
Right.
too.
So Marty, what happened was, Warner Brothers, when they sent me the contract, they sent an amended permission to use the character as Johnny Roast Beef, which was even more funny. It's my first movie, and I'm playing myself in the
Wow.
So how did you get involved with this film? Just
Well,
Short story.
Dave through Frank Adonis, who was also a Goodfellas.
Yeah,
He gave me a call, and he said Frank Adonis had recommended me, that they were doing this movie, and I says, well, you know, send me the script, whatever you have, and we'll meet and in California, and we did. I filmed, I think, in Huntington Beach.
Yeah.
One
No,
place.
no, Redondo,
Redondo was a beach.
Redondo Beach.
It was great. I mean,
Redondo.
it was great. I said, oh yeah, this is terrific.
So
you know.
funny how I got him. So funny because I called. I knew Frank Adonis, and Frank Adonis knew Johnny Roast Beef, so I can get a hold of him. He was like, it was hard to get a New York actor. He was in California.
Yeah.
So, and I knew Johnny Roast Beef would be perfect for it. So, I talked to Frank Adonis, and I'm driving. I had to pull over. I had to hurry up and pull over. Frank Adonis says, I get him. So then I'm driving again, and then I get in touch with Johnny, and right, because you called me back, I think, and then I just pulled over, and you know, we worked it out, and I was so glad.
it's
to
great
have
when
him.
things work like that.
Yeah, it's so weird because it was like late at night. I'm like pulling over on the road, and I
Meant
get
to
Johnny
be.
Roast Beef. Yeah, it was meant to be. Yeah.
Omar, how did you start? How did you get involved with the project?
I got the call from Dave, actually, from Dave Barro. He told me that he was putting together this project, and I said, okay, as I say to most things, like, all right, you're putting together a project, okay, send me the script, let me know what's it about and stuff like that. So he gave me a brief overview on what the script was about, and what the movie was about. I got the script, I read it, liked it immediately. I loved the story, I loved the way the script flowed. The writer, Dave Chaney, did a great job on it, and I said, yeah, I'm definitely in this.
Just say
gotta be
yes.
in
It's
this.
one of those moments.
Yeah, and plus this was 10 years later.
Wow.
Wow.
This was actually 10. I was like,
Wow.
this,
To come into
this
it.
does not
I mean,
happen in the
yes.
film business.
That's so awesome.
So I said, okay, I got to get on this. Great script, great opportunity. So I said, yeah.
And I know you guys too, you have an autobiography, Falling Down But Not Staying Down, which I love the title, about never giving up. And you're involved with that
Yeah.
as well, Dave.
Yes, yes, I'll be writing and co-producing.
Yeah,
So-
but Dave came up with the idea for a trilogy on my book. So, so there's different parts of my life, and then I said I want Dave to write it, Sully's, and it's called The Sully's. That's what we're in development for.
That's pretty awesome.
And pretty much, I think a lot of these guys will probably be in this film. The
Okay,
next one too.
awesome. So are we ready to see a clip of the film?
Sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's
sure.
cut to the clip.
All right.
8 Ball.
You know, I can tell something's going to be successful. I can smell it. Call me crazy, but it's true.
Oh, really? What's it smell like?
Can't describe it. You just know it doesn't matter where you are. East Coast, West Coast, middle of nowhere.
I'll take your word for it, Ramon.
You want to make it in this business? You got to open yourself up to all your senses. Realize what's around you and what's coming at you.
Did you take a look for this morning's box office receipts? It looks like JC's got another hit.
JC's an idiot, but he knows what the people want. That's what I wanted for my last picture.
Did you say last?
You know what I remember most as a kid? First thing in the morning, my old man drinking a cup of coffee, Pall Mall cigarettes. Wasn't that long ago. It feels like forever. Not like today when everybody's running around going to Starbucks with their cell phones or whatever electronic gadgets they got there.
Ramon, did you say you want JC for your last film project?
Stacy, what was I just saying about recognized success?
Something about being able to sniff it out? Sorry, I was looking at dailies, but Ramon, you can't be serious. You've topped the box office with your last 6 movies. You're the producer everyone wants to work with. You can't quit now.
Can and will. Something I learned a long time ago, Stace. When you got the hot hand, no one to quit. Stay in the game too long, and the game starts playing you.
Ramon, is everything okay?
Everything's good. Everything's great, in fact. I've just sensed that it's time, that's all. Don't worry. I'll take good care of you.
That was a really cool clip. I like the part too when she says you stay in the game too long, the game starts playing you.
Yeah, it has a lot of meaning throughout the movie.
It does. Can you speak a little bit to that?
Ramon is he's at this point where he realizes that, you know, now New York is starting to creep up and catch up to him from some of the things in the past. I don't want to tell you guys all the movie because I want you to see it, but a lot of things start to catch up to him, and he realizes that, you know, he has to find his way out, and there is only, like, you know, you only have a couple of choices, and it's a game. Everything is a game, and he relates it with pool. He relates it with his regular life. So when he's playing this character, it's really, you know, when I played this character, I mean, playing Ramon, it was he's trying to find his way of how he's going to get out of this game.
So essentially, 8 Ball is a metaphor for Ramon's life. If you think about it in a way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah.
And he played pool, and that was his game, and everything that he did outside of it was related to it.
Now, this is, I understand, going to be in film festivals. Actually, we're excited. I can't even believe that I didn't mention this. This is the first TV interview, which makes me so overjoyed to have all of you guys here.
Us too?
Yeah. That's right. That's right. Bigger than
Absolutely.
every other film festival, all those shows that we might be on, you know, for the interviews. We're probably going to get a lot more interviews. You guys are really actually the first interview ever.
So awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what else is coming up for you guys? You know, both in terms of this film and both, I'm going to kind of go around and individually, stuff that you have coming up, if you want to promote it or talk about things you have coming up.
Okay.
I'll
Theater.
ask you first, Omar.
Okay, yeah. Besides this, I'm doing theater also. Going back to Shakespeare.
I love that.
Yeah, Shakespeare is definitely one of my loves. I love Shakespeare a lot, so I'll be doing that between film shoots.
And that's such a foundation. Shakespeare, it has it all: greed and anger and betrayal and all of it.
Yeah. It's something really good to do, especially between film shoots. So yeah, that's what I'm doing right now.
What about you, David?
Like him, I miss theater though. I really do miss the theater. I got a lot of stuff going on. So I mean, we got a short film that we're doing actually that we're going to be filming, I believe, in November. Dave is actually producing it. I created the idea, but we have some great writers on it. So I'm going to be doing a short film. There's some A-list actors that we're working with. We also have a movie called Sully's that's in the development that's based off my true story, kind of like The Town meets State of Grace, something like that, I would say, similar to that. And then, I'm doing an episode of Sons of Anarchy when I get back to LA in the next week on the last episodes of Sons of Anarchy. I mean, so much stuff. So, and then my book, hopefully I should have it done before the end of the year.
That's exciting.
Which is Falling Down, which is based off a lot of stuff that I went through in Astoria. and my whole life in New York City, changing, and now I live in LA. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, I'm glad there's a lot of projects in the works, and there's a lot of things that we're doing, and things that we're moving forward to.
What about you, Dave?
Yeah, first I'd like to give props to my other co-writers on 8 Ball. It wasn't just me. It was Dave Manzano, Joseph Ruiz, Gary Lump, and myself. Great guys. And besides the Sullys and the short thriller that I'll be working with David on, I'm also producing comedies, writing comedies. The New 40, it's a female-driven comedy in the vein of Bridesmaids.
That's awesome. I like that.
Yeah, great market, great niche market. And Surefire. I'm co-producing that. It's a crime comedy about a New York City con man set in New York City.
Okay. What about you, Johnny?
I did 3 films this year, and what I'm really concentrating on right now is I've written 5 scripts, and one of them is in development right now. So it's called Who Killed Jimmy Gumdrops, and it's a comedy.
I like
and
that
it's
title.
yeah, it's
It just makes me smile. Just the title.
what it is it's a comedy, and the message in the script, there's some music in it, is that prejudice is in the eye of the beholder. And
So
it's just
true.
kind of like an Abbott and Costello. The mob is a backdrop. It's not really
I
a
love
mob
it.
movie, but
Yeah.
it's funny. So we have some very, very serious people involved right now that love the whole script. They love the way it flowed, and this business is funny. You can't hang on every word, but I really feel, especially this trip to New York, I feel I even had a dream that this is going forward in a very super
Dreams
fast way.
sometimes have a powerful
Yes.
effect of coming true. So
Yes.
where
Yeah.
can we find this to wrap up? What's your social media?
Oh,
and-
before you say that, I just want to say that Joey Ruiz did write the ending of it, and
Okay.
Dave Manzano. I wanted to give a shout out to him because he really
Awesome.
worked hard in developing it in California.
Sure.
And Gary Lump, and then Dave, really tied everything in.
Sure.
So, and the cast and crew were really good and amazing. So I just want to give a shout out to them
Wonderful.
because I really care about the people that I work with.
Which is great.
You're going to be able to find it in the film festivals. We're going to submit to some of the biggest film festivals. There's a good chance that we should have this done. We're in sound and score right now. So we're hoping to get it done so we can make the Tribeca Film Festival. That's the one we really want to get into because it's New York City. And
Definitely.
we're all from here originally. And I really wanted to open it in New York, even though I live in LA. So probably Tribeca. We're looking at all the other big film festivals, Venice, Toronto, any of the major film festivals. That's what we've been submitting for. We're going to submit for. And we should have it wrapped up soon. And
And you have a Facebook page?
yes,
for
we
April?
have Facebook, IMDb, Twitter. We're pretty much on every media, so you can catch us there. You can write to us, give us a shout out, and you can see all the cast and crew. So give them a shout out.
Right, just / 8 Ball Movie on Facebook and Twitter.
Okay. So I encourage all of our viewers to give feedback and give a shout out to these guys. Thanks
Yeah.
again so much,
Yeah.
Omar, for being here.
Thank you. Thank you.
David,
Oh, thank you for having me.
Dave, and Johnny.
Thank
It's
you
been a
so much.
pleasure.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks for watching. It's pretty awesome.
Taking it to the streets. That's how we
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, we're renegades. We're
Yeah.
movie renegades.
At Movie Talk.
Yes, we are.
www.movietalk.us. Also, another good thing about Movie Talk, we support indie.
I love supporting indie. I've been in many indie films myself. I have friends who are indie film producers and directors, writers. So it really it's close to my heart to be
You're
able
also
to.
still doing your thing